Hello, everyone. I have an update on Emmanuel Haro. Um, I have an update on that, and I have another story that's I can't I can't even describe the story, bro. Um, we're gonna get into this Emmanuel Haro update, and then there's a story from Nick at Night that I want to get into. First and foremost, shout out to the Pascal show. Um, this is the update on Emmanuel Haro. Should be coming in soon. I actually have two stories from Nick at Night. Okay.
Hollow that we're sitting there basically saying, oh yeah, um, she was taken from us. That's what happened, right? And we're going to do a crash course into it before we actually go into into the nuts and bolts of this whole thing. Just to be completely real with y'all, okay? Because again, this is just insane. This whole story is insane, and it's only getting worse. It only gets worse until now. Okay, as you guys are seeing the title above or down below, wherever you're watching this show right here. So here's the thing. Rebecca Haro says that when the time that Emmanuel Haro was taken from her, she was going and getting gloves, football gloves, or she was on her way to get football gloves for one of her kids, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or one of the kids that they were watching football for. Little league kind of football. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
they go to this sporting goods store. She pulls up, and baby Emmanuel, I guess, messed his pants. This is what she says. He's a kid. He's 10 months. He's in a diaper. So she goes, okay, I got out of the car. I went to the back. I pulled him out of the car seat, and I started to change his diaper. I was in the middle of starting to change his diaper, then when out of nowhere, somebody came up to her from behind and basically said, hola. Was it a mouth guard? I could have sworn it was gloves. Maybe I'm wrong about that. My apologies, okay? I'm just going off the top of the dome here, all right? Regardless, she went to the sporting goods store to get something for one of the kids, one of her kids, okay, that she was watching football for, okay? They were at the football practice. She drove down there, right? She goes to the store. She's getting the baby out of the car seat. And then out of nowhere, a man comes up and says, hola. And she turns around, and he just knocks her clean out. He cleans her clock, sending her straight to the ground, lights out. She went night-night, as she said. She didn't say that, but, she went night-night.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the ground. Then she came to. When she came to, she got up. Her car is still there, but baby Emmanuel is nowhere to be found. So of course she runs inside the store, asking if anybody has seen the baby boy.
And the whole damn time she lying.
Police show up, and of course she says, "Oh yeah,
Welcome.
I was looking for him and all this stuff.
Welcome.
I went to the back, I was changing his diaper, and then all of a sudden somebody said, hola, right? And of course,
which is a fake ass story.
This is what she looked like during her initial interviews. Because the marking, because I got to use these code words, the marking on her face, okay, on the left side of her, or the right side of her face, obviously everyone's like, oh my God, clutching their pearls. Oh my God. Rebecca, are you okay? Oh my God, bless his heart. He's such a precious little child, which he is. But the marking on her face flew many, many red flags. Because a lot of people were saying, wait a second, if this was a fresh marking on her face, fresh, would it look like this? Some of y'all went into town on this and to expert level, being like, yo, I've seen black eyes. And that is not fresh.
No.
Now remember, she had just been hit maybe 24 hours before this interview. You mean to tell me she has Wolverine super healing, X-Men super healing factors in her body? That was one of the things that I thought in the very beginning. I'm like, this seems weird. That the right side of her face would have this marking on her face, but there's no other marking anywhere else. Like I said before, she got straight up the way she says it. She got her clock cleaned. Okay? She went night-night. Somebody said, hola, and then she goes, see? And then he went, bravo, you know what I mean? Straight up, fake, just, right? So much that it would make the earth shake, okay? Then she falls. And some people fall so hard, they lose their lives because their head hits the ground so hard. You see what I'm saying? But no, she has no other markings on her body except for the marking right here, under her right eye, which makes no sense. I talked about it. Doesn't make any sense. Hola, like it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any bloody sense. So, because of us being, we were born during the day, but we were born yesterday type thing, we all got savvy to the situation, right? We all got savvy to it. We're like, are you kidding me? Come on. And some of us were like, towing the line because you didn't want to be rude. You didn't want to come off like callous, like you didn't care. You didn't think, you know what I mean? You're like, because of the marking on her face. But some of us, a lot of us were like, but the marking on her face shows like that's like a couple weeks old. Are you sure she really got knocked the F out just yesterday? I don't know. The water stinks with this one. And her story's aging like milk. You know what I'm saying? But you guys got smart. And so did the rest of the world too. The rest of the world caught on. Because it's like, oh, everybody else is saying the same thing that I'm thinking too. So I'm not a jerk off. Damn. I might be smart about this one. She lying. Yeah, she lying. So of course, this case has transpired, has continued to unravel, while the family, the couple, okay, Jake and Rebecca, are living in their home, chilling in the cut, while police are going in and out of their home. And obviously the one dead giveaway is when at first they were willing to work things out, help them out, help police out, and then suddenly out of nowhere, they weren't willing to participate. They weren't willing to work things out and tell their story because their story kept on unraveling. And they're like, oh, well, we need our lawyers. And it's like, well, you don't need your lawyers. I get it, lawyering up, I get it to a certain extent. But at the same time, when you're trying to find your kid, you should be doing everything you can to find your kid.
Exactly.
Whatever you need. That's fine if you need.
And these people here did a bare damn minimum.
I ain't lying. Come on with it. Right? But they were not willing to work anything out with 5-0.
Nope.
So they just started huddling up, hiding out in their home. Police were in and out of that home. They said that they found traces of red in the house. So on and so forth. Apparently they cut out things from the house. They were looking in the backyard and on the outskirts around the surrounding areas of this home. While they just sat there, I don't know, maybe watching Maury Povich. I don't know. But they weren't participating. They weren't out there, boots on the ground at least, trying to find their baby boy. Which to me to be completely honest, is a dead-ass giveaway of you having something to do with the unaliving of your own child. You're not willing to go out there and put in the work? Really? Looks suspicious to me. So then finally, I'm just going to skip ahead because there's a lot of things that have happened. We heard, before we go to the final place, or the final stage, before we go into the final thing that we are going into, the headline. We also find out about another baby girl that Jake the fake put his paws on. I can't even say that that is even his child. Yes, I know he sired her. Yes, I know he brought this child into the world. But at the same time, I mean, was he really a dad? Was he really a father?
Hell no.
You know, you could be a father and a dad. You could be a separate too. You could be a father and you could be a dad. But you could be both and you could be separate, right? But I don't even want to give him any of those titles. He was a sperm donor, y'all.
Yeah,
Okay?
exactly. A piece of shit sperm donor.
He was a sperm donor. At least that's how he treated that baby girl. And we found out the vicious things that he did to that child too. Now that girl doesn't have much of a life. I hate to say it like that. Yes, she's precious. Yes, she's beautiful. But she doesn't have much of a life. She will have to have someone wait on her hand and foot for the rest of her days.
Yeah.
Because of what he did and his previous wife at that time. The mother of this child as well. What they did to her. When she was only a few months old as well. But we learned about that. He had a history of violence. Deplorable, despicable things. And yet he still had his Timu lawyer coming out here. Remember that guy? Remember him? Remember him looking like a big ass grape? You don't remember? He was like, why did he look like a comic book arch villain? Why was he always dressed up like a comic book arch villain though? Explain that to me though. But do you remember that guy? And he was out here saying, oh yeah, no, you got it all twisted, guys. My friend, not even his client, he's just out here speaking on his behalf, even looking even more like a fool. Because obviously he's using that as an opportunity to put his stuff, an opportunity to put his name out there and his law firm out there. But why would you make him look even dumber? Hold on. Do I have a photo of this mother lover? Hold on. Do I even? Yes, I do. Look at this dude. Look at this dude. Why was he dressed up? You know what I mean? Batman, you can't get me. You know what I mean? I'm waiting for like something like that. You know? Like a Latino penguin. You know what I'm saying? No? Okay. All right. Well, you remember him though. Remember him? Yeah, that happened. Yeah, that actually happened. Okay. But he was out here going, oh no, you guys got it all twisted. My friend, because I don't technically represent him, he is innocent. He's innocent. You got it all wrong. All the stuff that you've been saying out here, y'all been saying about my friend is completely inaccurate and wrong. Only to find out that a good portion of it was true. They did go through his home. They did get pieces of evidence in that home. They did see traces of red in that home. You're just saying whatever the hell he wants. Timu lawyer, remember him? Timu? So moving forward, they finally get arrested, which I applaud. And it was a glorious moment. We all enjoyed it. Everybody and their mama. I mean, there were so many TikTokers out there. Oh my God, it's happening. You know what I mean? And then they were throwing in their TikTok name. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just interesting. Oh my God, it's happening right now. True Crime 77.99.9. Can't believe it. Go check it out. True Crime 77.99. They've all been arrested. True Crime 77.99. It's like, okay, we get it. Remember all that? Monumental moment, though. Very happy that they got arrested. But then they started throwing things askew. They started saying, oh, no. Like she said, he's a good man. He would never do anything. He's a good man. He's proper. He's good. Right? After they get arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Then we also see him out there on the side of the road of an interstate, taking the police on a wild goose chase out in the desert hills to find this baby boy, only to find nothing. Why did they do that? And all the while, wifey, Rebecca, she's the one sitting there going, oh, no. He's a good man. He would never hurt a fly. He's a good man. All lies. Then he did an interview. We gotta pull his face up, too. Good golly. Because he's gonna be the star of the show right now, ain't he? We look at him. Let's pull this one up. There he is, Jake the Fake. He does an interview and says she has nothing to do with anything, that she is innocent, and that she's a great mother. I'm sorry, there was something.
Dude, you're doing too much. I'm sorry.
Somebody
You're beginning to do too damn much.
She a good mother. She a good mother. Yeah, she allowed all of this stuff to go down. This is what he said in the interview. Still maintaining his innocence, by the way. Nothing to do with this, right? Which makes no sense. Makes no sense. Here's the thing. They did a press conference right around that time. We were understanding and finding out more information about Emmanuel and what actually happened to him. And what the DEA says is that they believe that he basically succumbed to injuries from long-term CA. Long-term attacks. Imagine that. This little baby enduring what he endured for however long he endured it succumbs to those injuries. That's the theory that they said, that the DA believes is what happened here. Which, it could be that, or it could be that big boy Jake the Fake lost his marbles, lost his cool, and did something terrible. Because I still truly believe that that marking on her face, which we find out that it's on both sides of her face. It's not just on one. So she was wearing makeup on the other side of her face so that her story would be connected, would make sense. Oh, she got hit from this side. So it wouldn't make any sense for this other side to have any markings. So she started, as you can see, she got makeup on that side of the face. But when you see these mug shots, which I'll show you guys in a second, both of them. Both of them. I believe that whatever happened to her happened around the same time that Emmanuel Haro lost his precious little life. That's what I truly think. I truly think that Emmanuel was gone way before he went missing, way before he was reported missing, before a man walked up and said hola, which, by the way, should be the title to a damn true crime show.
It
Don't
should
take
be.
it, I'm using it. The man who said hola. Seriously.
I'll be right back, y'all.
Live on television.
That's weird. Why will it not let me
Just saying, this is some pretty crazy
behind
stuff.
the
But I truly
video.
think that this
That's
baby boy
weird.
lost his life way before, around the same time that she got those markings on her
It
face.
will not
Fresh, I'm saying.
allow me to
Fresh. And
hide
then
the
they
video
sat down and they
camera.
tried to come up with a
I ain't
plan.
never had that problem before.
How that a man said hola
Why can I
and
not
took our baby boy.
cam
How are
down?
we going to convince the world that this boy disappeared and was
Why
never to be
can't I
heard or
cam
seen from
down?
ever again? And it's not
Oh,
because of us. It is
bro,
not our
come
fault.
on.
How can we cover the tracks so that there is no question that we are innocent and that there's a man,
What's going on with
a
this?
very evil man, that apparently gets off whenever he says hola, took our child. He didn't say like greetings. No, he said hola.
Why can I not?
He didn't say sup though. He didn't say anything like that. He said hola. Like I said, I'm
Okay, I can
this
mute.
is just a peppering, okay? A light seasoning, if you will, of the timeline.
What
And
the
it
world
may
going
not be
on?
entirely 110% verbatim accurate on the whole freaking thing, okay? Like, you know, it might sit there going, on September 17th, Jake Haro said, no, I don't have that right here. This is breaking
What
news.
is up with YouTube right now?
Okay, and there's a lot more that I remember, but I
Because
don't want to go into
it says that the camera's off, but I can still see
all that other
myself.
stuff.
It's weird.
If you don't know, go and check out all the shows and videos I've done about Jake and Rebecca. And
Screw it, I'm just gonna let it play.
Emmanuel.
I'm just gonna let it play.
But nonetheless, we are all
I'll be
here for
right
one
back,
thing, one thing
y'all.
only.
I'll be right
The reason why I
back.
wanted to give you guys I wanted to get some time to tell you guys what was going on, or you know, get you guys in here so I can tell you guys what's going on. Okay, some very big deals going on here. We are finally getting some truths about what happened to Emmanuel. Hold on, guys. 1 second. So obviously, this is a very, very big moment that I think all of us are wanting to know the truth about. And it's coming. Hold on. Sorry, guys. All right. Let me pull this up. Very big moment, guys. Something I don't think we were all thinking that it was going to happen today at all. Honestly, I thought it was just going to be lies. I honestly thought it was going to be nothing but straight up lies, non-stop lies today. And I'm going to be honest, I'm very, very happy about this. First off, I'm shocked. Second, I'm happy this is happening. It's about damn time. Okay? So, here is the thing. Jake Haro has pled guilty to the unaliving of Emmanuel Haro. Yes, guys. And I think this is a very, very big deal. This could mean something huge in the very, very near future, possibly before the end of day today. This is just my assumption. I have no facts or no proof of that. It's not like I have a source that says something, nothing like that, okay? I just want to make that abundantly clear, all right? But nonetheless, this is a very, very big freaking deal. Why? Because here's the thing. We have all been wanting this to happen. Some sort of proof, some sort of honesty, some sort of information that could lead us towards Emmanuel getting some semblance of justice. Here's the thing. Father pleads guilty to all charges, including unaliving. This is massive. Okay? Here we go. So, the father of baby Emmanuel Haro pleaded guilty to all charges today There is no word on whether investigators have located the remains of 7-year-old baby boy Emmanuel Haro. Now, I want to make this abundantly clear. Okay? Let me just make this abundantly clear. I think that they are going to find him today. Or at least they are going to find him before this weekend is over. I'm hoping that I'm right. I'm hoping that I'm right, okay? Several fingers crossed. But here's the other thing, too. This could also mean that he took a plea deal. And if he took a plea deal, we got better things to do, babies. We got better things to do. So I'm just going to keep it a beam. I want justice. And I need him locked up for good. Let's not forget what he did to his baby girl. And that he was able to get out early and do a suspended sentence. And he still was violating his suspended sentence for doing the egregious and disturbing things that he did to his child. Before Emmanuel Haro was even a glimmer of, even a glint in his eye. I want to make that abundantly clear. All right? This guy, straight up, had an opportunity to turn his whole life around and do right. What did he do? He went back and did it all over again. He did this to Emmanuel. Given zero damns. But here it is. They both appeared in court today. Get this. They both appeared in court today in Riverside, where Jake Haro pleaded guilty to all charges, which include second-degree homicide, filing a false police report, and the attack, gotta use these code words, of a child under 8. Also, great bodily injury resulting in someone's demise. He is set to be sentenced on November 3rd, and I'm telling you right now, first off, yay! Yes.
Okay, I can only take only so much of this dude. This dude here is doing too much. Anyways, that's the update on Emmanuel Haro. Now, we're going to go on to this other story that, quite frankly, shocked and pissed me off when I heard it. And I'm sure it's going to...
That already happened.
And I'm sure it's going to do the same for y'all as well. With that being said, let's get into Nick at Night.
It's your girl Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight we're going to be talking about this story that takes place out of Cleveland, Ohio. Now, a mother by the name of Antavia took to social media to basically plead for justice for her 5-year-old in what she says was the unthinkable, unimaginable, very, very unnecessary, and the arrested. Now, if you guys have not heard about this story, it is about a 5-year-old girl who was supposed to be being babysit. Her mother had I think she had to go to the doctors or something. We'll read through this post. And her mother basically left her in the care of individuals who were supposed to be watching her. While they were supposed to be watching her, somehow, some way, she ended up outside, wandering around. And according to reports, there are some menace to societies in that neighborhood, okay? Little thugs in the neighborhood, and they are ages 8, 9, and 10. They took it upon themselves to basically pull her braids out and do the unthinkable. So we're going to be going over that in this
Trigger
video.
warning,
Now,
trigger warning, trigger
because
warning.
of the nature of the contents that the mother is expressing,
Trigger warning.
I'm going to give you guys a trigger warning. These types of videos are not friendly to YouTube. They do not like us to share stories like this. So do your part in basically hitting the like button, hitting the share button, and supporting the channel to get more stories out like this. They try to get us to shy away from talking about stuff like this just because of, like I said, the graphic nature and so on and so forth. But oftentimes we always hear about children being violated by adults. This story, she was violated by children themselves. Let me share a quick news report and then we were going to get into more. All right, so news reporters talked to the police to try to find out what's going on, why there isn't any movement in the case. They also talked to the mother, and she pled out and talked about this. So let's get into a little bit of this video.
I want to get justice for my daughter. I want them to know how serious this is, the pain that she endured, and how it's changed our life forever. I want them to take it serious. I want everybody to look at it as if this was their kid.
On the afternoon of September 13th, Cleveland police officers responded to a home in the 1000 block of East 145th Street. A caller reported she was babysitting a 5-year-old girl, but the girl had gone missing. The police report is heavily redacted, but it states the 5-year-old was found in the fetal position in a field under a quarter-mile away from the residence. A witness told the responding officer that they saw 3 juveniles take the 5-year-old girl to the field and attack her. It's unclear who picked up the girl from the field, but she was transported to the hospital by EMS for emergency care.
All right, and according to the mom, the juveniles' ages range from 8, 9, and 10 years old. So as you can see so far, the little girl rounded up outside, lured into this area where she was attacked by an 8, 9, and 10-year-old.
By three demons.
Investigators later found evidence and the girl's clothing in the field, and according to the police report, video evidence and ring camera footage were also recovered. The police report lists the offenses in this case as simple battery, kidnapping, felonious assault, strangulation, assault, and it does not state whether any witnesses intervened or attempted to stop the attack.
So as you guys hear the seriousness of the charges, you're wondering, okay, so when are you going to lock them up? Well, according to Cleveland, Ohio Police Department, they are protecting the victim, and because of the ages of the assailant, they are protecting them as well.
I don't give a damn. Fuck them little demons. Lock them little bastards up. They are a menace to society. Lock them the fuck up. Period.
And I think that Cleveland needs to get on the same type of time as Florida. Now, if you guys aren't aware, Florida, okay, right, okay. So, if you guys don't know, Florida puts it all on blast. Florida does not care if you are 10, 11, 12, however old you are. If you commit a crime in Florida, they are blasting it. Now, recently, there was a boy who was 11 years old, and this just hit the blogs today. He was 11 years old. He had a whole perk walk that he had to do because on TikTok, he decided to say that he was going to pew-pew up the middle school. So because of the serious nature of what he did, he had to go and be booked into jail. Now, I think that the same way that Florida marched this little boy into the jail is the same way that 8, 9, and 10-year-old need to be shackled up.
Damn
and
right.
transported as well. Let's take a look at this video real quick.
Marching
and then we're
little
gonna
bastards
get
out the front
into
door.
More of the details of this story that I'm telling you guys previous to this. So let's just watch a little bit of this. All right, and this little boy, again, he is not a part of what happened to the girl in the story. I'm just showing you an example of how he got a perp walk and how the people in that story need a perp walk too, just so that y'all are very abundantly clear. arrested, he was shackled and thrown in a cell. Now,
Like
this
he
was
should
all
have been.
because he said that he was going to pew-pew the school. Now, in this case, where there is this 10, 11, and, 10 and 11. In this case, where there is this 8, 9, and 10-year-old, I'm trying to figure out what's it given and why Cleveland is not marching them into the police station the same way Florida does their people who violate the law. Let's listen to a little bit more, and then we're going to go to the mother's social media account.
We're actively investigating it. Our detectives, working to resolve it. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, it is a very sensitive investigation at this point.
Cleveland police do confirm the victims and suspects in this investigation are under 10. Meanwhile, Antavia Kinnebrew is still processing the pain that was inflicted on her daughter.
She been affected mentally and physically by what was done with her. So just seeing how much she changed is hard. What was done to her was inhumane. So it made me think like it wasn't no more human things left. If you see anything,
It wasn't no human. It was little demons.
because that could have stopped what happened to my daughter if somebody spoke up and say, if they stopped. So just.
And the mom is at a loss for words. Now, she has done...
And I got to pause this for a second. The only way these demon children, and that's why I'm calling them, due to what they did here, thought that this was okay, was either they had no discipline or they were taught this demonic behavior. Let's continue.
And the mom is at a loss for words. Now, she has done several interviews with different news outlets where she was breaking down, she's sobbing, uncontrollably crying, and rightfully understandable. Like, can you imagine how infuriating it would be to leave your child in the care of a trusted family or friend, and you come back, you get a report that your daughter's missing, and then you find your daughter unresponsive, and you hear all of these heinous things that took place to her. Her hair ripped out, she's been assaulted, and not only did this happen to her, but it was happening by 8, 9, and 10-year-olds, and they are not locked up. Now, there is a juvenile facility for a reason. There is detention centers for minors for a reason. And this reason and this situation is that reason. They need to be booked and locked up. Period.
Lock them the hell up.
Unacceptable,
Exactly.
for sure. Now, let's go on over to her Facebook page and read to you guys what she wrote in a plea to tell people about this. Now, she wanted justice for her baby, and she wasn't in it for the money. Okay, so she came, she shared her story, and she wanted these people held accountable. So many people started to encourage her to set up a GoFundMe account, and because of an overwhelming amount of support from the community and people pouring into her, she opened up an account. Now, when people open up GoFundMe accounts, and even when they don't open up GoFundMe accounts, there are all these people who try to capitalize off of other people's tragedies. So if you donate to A. Marie and you want to support this family, make sure you're donating to the right account, because there's already so many scam GoFundMe accounts in her name. Crazy. But let's get to the story. So again, because of the serious nature of the allegations and how graphic they are, this is something that, again, is not supported by YouTube, and it is something that they flag. So if you want to support creators like myself putting stories out like this and bringing awareness,
Hit the like
make
button,
sure
hit
to
the like
support
button.
the channel, okay? Make sure to hit the like button. And because of the nature of the contents of the story, you guys have to be the ones to share it and get the word out as well so that this mom can get justice, because what happened to her child is totally unacceptable, like beyond unacceptable. And stuff like this is like the thing that I fear about being an owner of a pew pew. Now, I have a lot of control and self-control, but something like this, I don't know how I would react, being that the perpetrators that left my child in this state is still walking around freely. I don't care if they're minors or not. Child, that's when you want to get back for yourself. Those are the things that I'm scared of, being a pew pew owner. But, you know, she wants the law to handle it, rightfully so. And, you know, hopefully she gets justice. Now, this is what she took to social media and said. On September 13th, 2025, my daughter resided at a trusted family member's residence around the area of 145th and St. Clair while I underwent a medical procedure. While she was away, I got a phone call from my family member stating that my daughter walked out of her house and she couldn't find her anywhere and that the authorities were contacted. I immediately filled in a panic. I rushed out my house and arrived to the scene. As soon as I got there, I ran to the EMS truck where I found my daughter unresponsive, bloody, with her hair pulled from her scalp, her body covered in bruises, her fingernails filled in dirt, her eyes filled with blood, her neck showing signs of strangulation, her mouth and lips bloody, her private area filled with debris and dirt, and a big lump on her head. I couldn't believe what I saw in front of me. My daughter did not look like herself. She was traumatized. She was shaken up. A group of bigger kids around the ages of 8, 9, and 10 walked up to my daughter, presenting themselves as friendly, took her by the hand, and walked her down the street. Okay, they said, hold up. They took her by the hand and walked her to a field that was far away from the residence. In that field, they beat my daughter until she was unconscious. They ripped out her hair. They held my daughter down as they AR'd her. They also shoved sticks down her throat and up her. They stripped her of her clothing, and they put their hands around her neck, with her own shirt. One of the children then proceeded to take out his member and leave her covered in their fluid, their yellow fluid. They beat her and went in her until she was unconscious and unresponsive. One out of the 3 kids ingratiated their teeth.
I gotta pause this. Are y'all even raising y'all children any damn more? It sounds like these kids, they weren't even raised. The fuck? Let's get back into it.
Ingratiated their teeth on her bottom area, and like it
What the
I can't
hell?
even read it.
The
It's like,
fuck?
as a mom, can you imagine? Again, me as a owner of a pew pew, I can't imagine, because I can only see red. Like, I can only see myself being red. But then, as a mom, you have to think too. If you see red and you go 1, 2, 3, and then mama, daddy 2, then these same people that you left your daughter in their care, like, you go down, your daughter ain't safe either. So it's like, it's a lose-lose situation, because if she go get street justice, her daughter's left in the wind, unprotected. Again, it's just child crazy. So let's read some more. It says that, they took her clothes off, they urine on her, they penetrated, and she's 5 years old. It says that, all right. Then after they did all that, they left her there, okay? They left her there and went about their day like nothing, okay? And basically thought that they unalived her. She says that they continue playing, and one of her, she said they continue playing. Her family member, as well as she was still looking for her daughter, saw 2 out of the 3 children that lives on her street that she had not knew at the time harmed her daughter, and walked up to them and asked if they saw the little girl. They stared at her with no remorse and told her no, and continued playing. What they had just done to my daughter, as my family member went back to her house waiting on authorities, them same kids who she had questioned came to her with their mother saying they know where my daughter is, and them same 2 kids stated that they did not know where my daughter was now. With their mother, took my family member to where my daughter was found in the field, with her not having clothes, beaten, penetrated, unresponsive, and she says her hair, and later found her shoes was scattered all around the field. She said my cousin, panicky, placed my daughter in her vehicle, rushed her back to her house, and continued waiting for authorities to get there. My daughter is completely traumatized. I am completely traumatized. These kids broke my daughter's spirit. They took away her boundaries. They penetrated her and constantly beat her. I never wanted to get the media involved because I didn't want my daughter's trauma plastered everywhere. When she was when she was constantly see what happened to her and what she'd been through. And I also trusted that she was going to get the justice that she needed. I'm bringing this to the media today because the authorities are failing my daughter. They're trying to tell me that 2 of the kids can't and won't be charged because they are 8 and 9 years old, even though they attempted to unalive my baby, and they AR'd her and beat her. They're saying legally these 2 boys cannot be charged. I need help.
Bullshit.
And I need justice for my daughter. I have
Bullshit. Charge them little demonic bastards.
reached out to legal aid and the Cleveland Metropolitan Bar Association for legal help. I also reached out to the R Crisis to get me a victim advocate that I was told can help me on a criminal justice side. I have been advocating for my daughter and I'm not getting any help. I also contacted the mayor of Cleveland, Ohio's office to try and get help. I have not received any yet. I need you all to understand that if them 2 kids' mother did not make them boys go back to my family member and let her know where my daughter was, my baby wouldn't be found right now. My baby wouldn't be alive. They literally tried to unalive my daughter. These are not normal kids. Themselves and their parents need to be held accountable. My daughter is not the same. She is having behavioral problems. She is mentally not okay. I am mentally not okay. And me not getting justice for my daughter makes me feel like I failed her. She is saying that she's having self-harm ideations and things of that nature. So that is what the mom came to social media to reveal about what happened to her daughter. Now, she has been giving updates over and over on her social media. She says, they fail us over and over. When we take matters into our own hands, we are wrong. I need help please, this is a cry for help. I need justice. My baby needs help. Now, a lot of people wonder what the race of the children are, and I don't believe that she said what their race is. A lot of people were assuming that they were probably Caucasian, but I don't really know. I haven't seen that listed. So she did a follow up after she made that post, and she said, "Good morning, everyone. I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude to all of you. Your support towards my daughter has been truly amazing. As a parent, I have never experienced such a strong sense of community, and I appreciate the village that you have become for us. Thank you for sharing and reposting, as this has helped bring attention to my daughter's story, and I am hopeful that it will lead to news coverage. My ultimate goal is justice, and I pray that this will ensure that those responsible are held accountable. It is unacceptable that my daughter's life has been forever changed, and it would be unjust if those responsible were to go unpunished. Furthermore, if they are not held accountable, they may harm someone else in the future. Their actions were extremely close to taking my daughter's life, and it is imperative that this does not go unpunished." Okay? So she's basically thanking people for advocating and sharing the story for her daughter to get justice. Now, again, if you want to support this mom and this family, she does have a GoFundMe set up. All right, and on the GoFundMe, she also shares the same story of what happened, and she has been getting support from all around the world. If you do support her, make sure you go to her actual Facebook account and you click the correct link, because as I stated, there are people who are creating fake GoFundMe accounts, right? So, this right here is where she said that she had decided to put a GoFundMe. She says, "Hey guys, I saw all your messages asking me to set up a GoFundMe for Marie. I don't want anything from anybody, just genuine support and love. But seeing how much you guys really want to give for her, I set one up for her. I didn't put a goal, only $1, because it's not about the money for us. I need y'all to know this is real and affecting our everyday life. But thank you to all of Marie's internet aunties and uncles that want to help." So she originally put the goal as $1, but now it says 80K. I don't know if it exceeds the goal, if GoFundMe shuts it down after you reach the goal, or if that's the reason why she had to put an actual goal of 80K or not. But anyways, this is what the Cleveland Police Department is saying. Now, they posted up this post right here, and it says, "The Cleveland Division of Police is aware of a post recently shared regarding an ongoing case. The Division of S Crimes and Child Abuse Unit is actively investigating a matter involving multiple children under the age of 10, both as victims and as suspects. Due to the sensitive nature of this case, releasing additional information at this time could jeopardize the integrity of the investigation and compromise the privacy and constitutional rights of those involved." All right, so this is what she's posting on her social media. She shared stuff that people have made for her, banners and such as well. She has a post from the Cleveland 19 News, and it says, "Cleveland police investigate after mother reports 5-year-old daughter was beaten, assaulted, and scalped." And this is another news report. Now, on some of these, it says that she wants to keep her daughter private and she doesn't want to share her photo, but she's clearly sharing her daughter's photo publicly on her page, and she's sharing her name and she's sharing her pictures. So I don't know if the news decided to say that, because on her social media she's very loud about her daughter's image, posting her daughter and that sort of thing.
Most news agencies, um, if there's a victim of a violent crime, they won't go out of their way to protect the victim, even if the victim is telling the story on social media or anything of that nature. So I just want to put that on out there.
Get justice. So let's look at this.
She says she found her baby girl beaten and abused. For the first time ever, the child's mother is speaking out, and you won't believe who police say are the suspects. 18's Noel Williams joins us now with this heartbreaking story, and we want to warn you, some of the images and details are graphic.
I literally saw the worst thing ever. Like, I saw my daughter unrecognizable.
What happened to Antavia Kinnebrews' daughter is something most people will have a hard time understanding. She says her bubbly, sweet 5-year-old daughter was beaten and assaulted. This picture showing hair ripped out of her scalp. Police revealing startling details. The victims and suspects are under the age of 10 years old. This is shocking news to the 21-year-old mom.
I couldn't wrap my head around it.
Kinnebrews' mother held her hand as she wept. She tells me out of safety she does not want to share her daughter's name or show her face, but she...
All right, so like I said, on here, on this news report, it says that the mom doesn't want to show her daughter's name or face, but her mom said she's publicly sharing her daughter's name and face on several posts over and over and over again. So I don't know what that's about, because she sharing her daughter's name and letting people know what her name is all over her social media. So I don't know.
She explains what happened that day. She tells me on September 13th, she had dropped her daughter off at a family member's home near East 145th Street and St. Clair Avenue. Somehow, her baby girl walked out the front door. When Kinnebrew found out, she rushed over and saw her 5-year-old being treated by EMS several blocks over.
Her hair was scalped from her head. She had bruises and blood all over her body. Her eyes was filled with blood. Her lips and mouth was filled with blood. Her nails had dirt, debris and dirt stuck in it.
19 News reached out to Cleveland police several times to try and find out if there are any charges. If so, what are those charges? And if the ages of the suspects would hinder that. All police would confirm is that the victim and suspects involved in this case are under the age of 10, and any other information would jeopardize the investigation. Either way, Kinnebrew says her daughter is left physically, emotionally, and mentally hurt and now in therapy. She is grateful for the support of the community so far, but she wants help and answers.
I want her to just to be somewhat of a normal 5-year-old again.
In Cleveland, Noel Williams, 19 News.
All right. So this is another...
About to hear and see may be graphic and disturbing as a mother demands answers and justice for her daughter.
So this right here is a post where she was sharing that somebody had made a fake GoFundMe account. She says, "This is not for me, it's fake and it's evil how people are using this to gain something that's so disgusting." So as you see, somebody made a Facebook and it says Marie Donation Live, and they created a whole account to get donations for her that is not even associated with the mom, which is so unfortunate that people do that. And I think that
It's just
people
sad.
will do stuff like this and they make these GoFundMes and they're not associated with the family, and they try to capitalize off of the deaths or tragedies of people. I think that there should be criminal charges.
Exactly.
For sure. Like, there should be criminal charges. It's getting out of hand and it's ridiculous. All right, so this right here, it says that they had a donation drive. Okay, so that was a donation drive. All right, so the mom went into more details about the children involved in the assault of her daughter, and this is what she had to say. She said, "I need y'all to understand something. These kids aren't normal kids. They literally, allegedly, go around," and I wouldn't even put no allegedly on it, "do something, okay? I would dare their parents to come after me for anything that I say about them, especially being that this situation was caught on camera and it was caught on Ring or whatever. So ain't no allegedly about these thugs and they menaces to society. Any accusation, anything that I say, I would dare their parent. Ain't no allegedly. But, you know, she said, I need y'all to understand something. These kids aren't normal kids. They literally, allegedly, go around terrorizing their neighbors. They've been doing things before my daughter, and the neighbors let my family and authorities know. The 10-year-old allegedly, again, ain't no allegedly. I would be singing to the mountaintops. Ain't no redaction, ain't no buffers, nothing. But I understand, you know, she's being careful. It says the 10-year-old allegedly already has a case open because she broke a 2-year-old's arm before this. Also, all three of them were on a neighbor's doorbell camera with shirts wrapped around their faces, and they broke into their neighbor's home while her kids were home. The 10-year-old allegedly held her kids down while the boys ran through their home and took things. Literally, allegedly, every kid in the neighborhood is scared of them and isn't allowed to go near their homes or outside, period. My family member wasn't aware of any of this. She hasn't even moved there for more than 2 months, and her kids don't even go outside. These kids knew how to pick their victims. The difference with my daughter was that they were planning for her to be their first actual unaliving. What I don't understand is if the neighbors know all of this and they saw them walk up to my daughter, why couldn't they stop them? Knowing how evil these kids were. They are not normal kids. Even the news reports, it says, even the news reports at Channel 5 let me know that when they were doing their scenes, people from the neighborhood were stopping them, telling them where the kids were, how they needed to get in trouble, and how they are literally evil and possessed. And to add to the next day after this happened, both families tried to flee with their kids. The 10-year-old's allegedly family literally tried to send her back to Florida, and the boys and their family were seen by neighbors trying to move in the middle of the night, packing up in a U-Haul. Thank God they didn't escape. These kids are not normal. They literally are going to do this again if not caught. The mother of the boys allegedly have hella charges herself. Both families are teaching these kids their behavior is okay. They not holding them accountable. This cannot happen again. So again, the mom did not release a race, and the way that she's describing them, and this being in Cleveland, a lot of people are jumping to conclusions saying that they must be white. I'm not convinced that they.
I don't believe they're white. I believe they're
are
black,
white or
unfortunately.
Caucasian or anything else.
I
Like,
believe
they
they're
could even
black.
be black kids. Like, it's not very clear
Unfortunately.
from what the mom is stating. If it was a racial thing, I think the mom probably would have emphasized that part as well in a subtle way. Like, she probably wouldn't have said, you know, these white kids, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like in a subtle way, she would have like gave hints that they weren't black. And in so far in what I read, it's not given that. Okay? But in the middle of the night, you got U-Hauls again. I commend this mom for the self-restraint that she has, because baby, I'm a crash out, okay? I am a certified crash out. And if, like, I just would never even want to imagine being in that situation, because, like, you trying to run? You trying to get away? Oh, for real. But then again, the mom has to think about how if she get taken away from her daughter, she's unprotected. So again, a lose-lose situation. Now, this is another post that the mom posted. She said, I have been told to delete my last post about how these kids been doing evil things because I'm slandering them. The law will care more about them than my daughter. This dish is disgusting. I'm done posting on here. They do not care. Justice for A. Marie. Hashtag Cleveland, Ohio. Hashtag justice for the victims. hashtag explore page, crime news, etc. All right, and then people are like, girl, don't take that post down. Don't stop at all getting justice for your baby and speaking out. Now, in this post, she says, thank you all so much. A-Marie and her brother appreciate everything. I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. I can't express how much this means to us. And so basically, this is people who left notes, cards, and things for her daughter. And they basically, so right here, oh wait, let me bring this. So this is a note somebody left. It says, hey, A-Marie, your new friend was born today, 10/9/25. I also got your own star that shines bright. The sky, make sure you find the star in the sky. Your name in it, and oh, so somebody, I guess, brought her a star in the sky. And then several people left cards and heartfelt messages and things like that. And then people left like nice goodies and things for her as well. She says, thank y'all. Thank y'all. Y'all got her brother stuff too. That's kind. I still can't believe this. So the community came. Oh, let me move this over. I'm sorry. I'm thinking y'all can see. Y'all see. All right, my bad. So let me bring this back. So this person right here purchased her a star, and they basically gave her the certificate of her having her own star, and they also left her this note right here where it says, hey, A-Marie, your new friend was born today, 10/9/25. I also got you your own star that shines bright in the sky. Make sure you, it says, make sure you find the star in the sky. Your name it, wait. Okay, so it says, make sure to find the star in the sky, name it, make a wish. And then they told the mom to check her email, and they gave her the certificate from this star. And then this is the community basically supporting her and dropping off items. And the mom is thanking the community because not only did they drop off items for her daughter, they dropped off items for her son as well. And it's just unfortunate. Like, this type of thing should not be happening at all. So the world that we live in is crazy. And so this is the update. Yeah, so a lot of people have been coming to me and sending this to me and wanting me to cover this. And at first I was hesitant to cover it because, like I said, the graphic nature of the story and how bad they did this little girl. Again, it's not something that is friendly to YouTube. So make sure you, even if you don't donate to my channel, make sure you hit the like button and share to get the story out there, because there needs to be awareness, there needs to be accountability, there needs to be an arrest. And if the mother and the father, or the parents, if they got a father in the home, or whatever the case, if they have repeated instances where they are deliberately going in people's houses, breaking arms, doing all of these things like this, there needs to be an arrest for the parents as well. Now, there isn't all the time where, like, I don't believe that parents should be held accountable in everything that kids do, because sometimes kids, you know, do stuff that you don't condone, and, you know, they do something out of peer pressure, and it's like a one-off type of thing. And it could be like something horrible, but like a one-off type of thing. Certain things, I don't blame the parents all the time. But this seems like they have repeated behavior that is not being corrected. It seems like they formed a little gang or whatever. Like, from the way that the mom described what happened to her daughter and what's been going on in the neighborhood, like what they call themselves. What kind of gang is this? Like, it sounds like they're either emulating what they see in their home, the gang behavior, thuggery that they see in their house, or they're emulating what they see in video games, TikTok, delete social media and so on and so forth, and it seems like they're trying to like live out this movie script and be thugging it. And if they parents cannot get them under control at 8, 9, and 10, they need to be arrested too.
Damn right.
Right? Now, if you want to be updated on this story, this is her mom's Facebook account. You type that in on Facebook,
And we do have an
her
update on the
page will come
story
up, and she
in the next
often
few
updates
seconds.
about this story. There are several news media that is picking up the story, reaching out to the police, interviewing the mom, and you can see all of these things on her profile as well. My heart goes out to her as a mom myself. Again, I could not imagine. I could not imagine one person violating my child, 2 children, 3 people, and then them not being arrested. And I know juvenile detention centers exist. My godmom works at a juvenile detention center with minors, so I know the detention centers exist, and I believe that these kids need to be locked up. Like penetrating, holding her down, ripping out her hair. Oh no. Sure. That they would have to catch these hands, feet, toes, arms, and elbows. Okay? Like, child. Anyways. But I just wanted to make a quick video about this because a lot of you guys have been sending.
And here's the update.
Hey, what's up, what's up? It's your girl, Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And tonight, I'm going to be bringing you guys breaking news in this case that I shared with you guys last week. Now, if you guys are not familiar with this case, there was a mother who pleaded for justice for her 5-year-old. She took to social media as the Cleveland, Ohio Police Department did not arrest the individuals involved in violating her daughter. They said it was due to the suspects being under the age of 10 and under, and what they did to her daughter was brutal, gruesome, unwarranted, unnecessary, and no matter the age, it deserves some type of consequence.
It
Well,
does.
she took to social media, she started petitions, she went on the news, she talked about this, and finally today, the 10-year-old involved in the case and the 9-year-old involved in the case are facing charges. Now, if you guys are not familiar with this story, this is part 2 of me covering it. Like I said, I talked about this last week, but for those of you guys who are not familiar, let me bring you guys up to speed on the allegations that were alleged to have happened to her daughter that the mother had proof of, and there was ring camera footage and so on and so forth that caught this all going down. So let me pull up the Facebook account that she originally shared to social media. Now, the details that happened to the 5-year-old are triggering. It involves SA, it involves her being violated, and so on and so forth. So if this is something that is triggering for you, let me just give you a trigger warning ahead of time. Now, in addition to this being details that have, a very sensitive nature, this is something that is not supported by YouTube. My last video was flagged, as I knew it was. They said, nah, this isn't something that we think is appropriate for advertisers to advertise on. But if you guys support channels, getting the word out and spreading news that should be spread regardless, definitely support my channel via Cash App or in the comment section via Super Thanks.
I almost like
or
gonna have an
Super Chat.
age restrict
Now,
this
let
one.
me pull up the mother's Facebook page because she went over all of the details that happened to her daughter and that she felt like she needed justice ASAP, and I feel like she needed justice ASAP as well. So let me read to you guys just a quick summary of what happened to her daughter, and then I'm going to show you guys now how the kids are being arrested, well, 2 of them out of the 3, and how the mother is closer to seeking justice for her baby girl. Now, like I said, there are some triggering things here. So she says, on September 13, 2025, my daughter resided at a trusted family member's residence around the area of 145th and St. Clair while I underwent a medical procedure. While she was away, I got a phone call from my family member stating that my daughter walked out of her house and she couldn't find her anywhere and that the authorities were contacted. She said she immediately went there in a panic. She saw her daughter in an EMS truck, and she says that her daughter was unresponsive, bloody, and her hair was basically scalped from her scalp. Now, after she did some investigation and she looked into this, she found out that the assailants were 10, 8, and 9 years old. She states that her daughter was traumatized, she was shaken up. The ringleader of this assault was a 10-year-old little girl, and the 9 and 8-year-old basically used their area, their private parts, to insert into her daughter. She said there was debris in her daughter's private. She said that they had tried to like strangle her. They tried to, or not tried to, but penetrated, and so on and so forth. They did such heinous and gruesome things. Now, when she originally
Trigger warning.
they stated that due to the children's age, that they were not able to do anything about it. Well, the whole nation got behind the mom. People started sharing it. Even my mom, she said, listen, I'm about to call the police department. My own mama decided, you know, I'm calling the police department. I want justice for this little girl. And so many people rallied behind her because no matter the age, and a lot of people on my last video, they were like, oh, you shouldn't want 10-year-olds locked up. You shouldn't want 8-year-olds locked up because this is a deeper problem. Maybe they were violated, and maybe they were violated. Maybe they were touched, but that doesn't mean that that absolves them from the consequence of what happened. I say lock them up, figure out if they've been violated themselves, and go down the pipeline with arrest. But it starts with them because that's where it happened. And just because of it doesn't give them the right to almost kill this little girl. Okay? A lot of people were not a lot, but there were some people who were in my comments like, oh, you don't have the depth or the range to talk about these type of situations because you want 10-year-olds locked up. I want them locked up. I want their mamas locked up if they allowing them to be violated and not putting them in therapy and not getting them help. I want any adult that is watching them and knowing that they're terrorizing the community and not holding them accountable and not teaching them right from wrong and not keeping eyes on these delinquents. I want them locked up too. I want everybody locked up. And after the kids get locked up, put them in the proper therapy, put them in the proper programs, and put them in the proper things so that this doesn't happen. It's not okay. Okay? It's not okay. So depth, range, whatever you feel that your psychological background give you, my psychological background from the hood is, child, get them before I get them. Period. Okay? So, let me pull up the news report that is now basically letting us know that the mom is closer to getting justice and that 2 of the children have been arrested. So let me pull this up for you guys. Because, baby, I was looking at some of the comments in my last video and I'm like, you don't want them locked up, I do. You feel like they should be walking around and going to school and being with other kids, I don't. And I'm not saying that, you know, it's okay. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, if they are violated, we need to get them help. But until they get the help that they need, they don't need to be around other kids. So, let's pull this up.
Also breaking now at noon, 2 children have been charged in connection with the
Good,
attack on a
good,
5-year-old
good,
girl we
good.
first told you about last week. Now we want to warn you, this story is disturbing and it may be difficult to hear. Police reports say on September 13th, the 5-year-old girl was taken by 3 other children under the age of 10 to a field on East 148th. Well, this morning, the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office announced 2 children are facing charges in juvenile court related to beating and sexually assaulting that little girl. The details are just too disturbing at this point to share, but a 10-year-old girl and a 9-year-old boy are charged with 1 count of attempted murder, 4 counts of rape, 2 counts of felony assault, 1 count of kidnapping, and 1 count of strangulation. The prosecutor's office told News 5 that given the sensitive nature of this case, no other information is being released right now.
All right. So they have been arrested or facing charges. And these are all of the charges right here that they face. And I believe that, you know, within all of these requires an evaluation of what's prompting it, why they have this behavior, where they're learning it from, where they're thinking that it's cool. Because when the mom went to her social media and she talked about all of the other things that the kids were doing, to me it sounds like they're mimicking what they think like being a thug is. It sounded like they were mimicking what, you know, like, oh, you know, stuff that you see in movies, like stuff where they, you know, bound and strangle and do all of these things. It sounds like they're mimicking trying to be a gang. And if that's the case, where are they learning it from? What are they watching? What are their influences? Are people penetrating them? Like, why do they think that it's okay? Now, let me look at my chat. Thank you so much, Rochelle, for the $100 super chat. I appreciate you so much. And I appreciate all of the support when it comes to talking about these types of stories, because, again, they're flagged. They kind of try to get us to shy away from talking about these things and everything like that. So it says, News 5 says, spoke with the 5-year-old's mom, Tavia Kennebrew, who said that, you know, she dropped her. Okay, so this is kind of what I already read to you guys. This is a previous news thing that the mom did. But if you guys want to look at some of the previous news reports, you can go to my other video. Now, since there has been an arrest, the mom has spoken out, and this is what she had to say on her social media. It says, good morning, everyone. I want to start off by saying thank you and God bless you all for all the love and support you all have shown my baby girl. Every son, even my son and me. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you guys for sharing the word about A-Marie's petition. Her petition is in the 1% of America's petitions, and she needs 100,000 signatures for her case to be nationally noticed. My hope is that when and if it does, it can be taken more seriously. My goal is for my daughter to receive justice and for her users and their parents to be held accountable. Now, this is what she wrote yesterday before there were charges set today. All right? So she says, I think if we keep pressing this matter, it might just happen. I pray it will, because I have no other choice and hope. So this was what she wrote yesterday. Now, today, she's sharing that article where the prosecutors have charged the 2 children in connection, and she's reposting and she says, I pray all kids are able to get prosecuted further down the line. Justice for A-Marie. All right? So that is what she's saying. She's acknowledging that the children have now been charged, and she is thanking everybody who helped make it happen. Now, she also posted up a post 17 minutes ago, and she says, I cannot wait as soon as Amazon is done delivering all the items from Marie's wish list, and we picked the items you all have mailed her. I can't wait to share all your beautiful messages. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. I did not mean to press that. Hold on. Let me come back. There we go.
Y'all are the most amazing people ever. I want to give thanks and share how beautiful and amazing you all are. From those who donated to the GoFundMe and those who signed her petition, to those who mailed her things and got her gifts. Oh, no amount of anything will take away from what happened to her, but it shows her how much she is loved. And it shows her little brother. Y'all are the most amazing people ever. I love you all. Y'all are forever family now. Let's keep signing the petition to try to get other kids involved charged. So she's saying, listen, 2 kids were charged, but let's move for all 3.
Get
And
all of
that
them.
is what she's pushing for, because the
Get them all.
8-year-olds, according to the law, is too young to be charged. So now she's pushing that all of them be held accountable. The 10-year-old, the 9-year-old, and the 8-year-old. But per the law, only the 10 and the 9-year-old can be held accountable because of age. So she is pushing for people to click. She has the link to a petition in here that you can click. Now, there were several people who donated to her GoFundMe account. And if you want to support her via GoFundMe, just make sure you are donating to the right account. She has raised $100,000 so far. And make sure that if you want to donate and support her or her daughter, you are going to the right account, because there have been people who are trying to capitalize off of the tragedy that happened to this little girl by creating fake GoFundMe accounts. So if you try to send the mom money, or if you try to do anything for the mom, make sure that you're going to the proper accounts to support her. Now, in addition to this, there was a lot of people on a post under the neighborhood talk, and they were upset at the neighborhood talk because they shared a mugshot of a 9-year-old boy, and they were upset that they did not share the children involved in this case with A. Now, let me share with you guys this post and use this as a teachable moment, because I'm not the most political, okay? I'm not really, the most political person, but there's basics in politics that we gotta know, okay? And this is an example of a post that showed how much people don't even know the basics of rules, policies, and things like that. So these people were angry at the neighborhood talk, and they posted this post right here, and it says, Florida Sheriff's Office defend their decision to post the mugshot of a 9-year-old boy accused of threatening classmates with a knife. We have not had any repeat offenders since we have put this in place. So Florida has decided that when they have minors that offend, they show the minors' faces. This is Florida. Now, there were several people in this comment section who was like, how dare you post this little boy's picture, but you don't post the 8, 9, and 10-year-old that violated the girl in Cleveland. I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Each state has different policies. That is why it's important that you go and vote in November, okay? Because each state, county, has different policies that they allow. Now in Florida, Florida's off the chain. Florida, they allow any child to be posted on a mugshot. Cleveland is a different state with different rules and different policies. Now, I believe for the safety of the children in Cleveland, I believe that the 10, 8, and 9-year-olds picture should be plastered. However, I know enough to know that it's per state law and what they allow. There were people who were cursing out the neighborhood talk because of this. And I'm like, come on now, politics 101. Why do you think that In Texas, it's against the law to get an abortion, and people flee to other states to get abortion because it's okay for them to get an abortion in some states versus others. Different states have the discretion to implement certain laws. Now, there are certain things that are constitutional for every state, and then there are certain laws that your local politicians basically pass. And you, as a person, the only election that's important is not the presidential election. There are local policies being passed in your
Give me
town,
1 second.
in your state, that you can advocate for. If you want kids in Cleveland to be posted on their mugshot, then start advocating for that to be a policy. Now, I agree. Other kids should be protected from this. But it's just basic one-on-one. Again, I'm not the most
I'll be right
politically
back, y'all. Give me a second.
advanced person that knows everything. But I feel like at the bare minimum, we should know that. That's all I'm saying. So let me read to y'all a couple of these comments because they were going off on the neighborhood talk. They were going off. Okay? They said, so they can repost a 9-year-old mugshot that cannot post the 8, 9, and 10-year-old who brutally assaulted that little girl in the field? Make it make sense. They're not even charging those 3. This is so wrong. Another person, why y'all not posting them kids from Cleveland, the 8, 9, and 10-year-old that essayed the 5-year-old girl? Why y'all hiding them? I was reading the comments, I'm like, I agree that they should be posted, but how you mad at somebody for not posting something that's not available? How you mad at the neighborhood talk for not posting kids' images that are not publicly available?
This neighborhood
How
talk,
you mad
everybody.
at them for sharing news that Florida implements that Cleveland isn't? They were going off on the comments. So I said, you know what, next time I talk about this, let me just give a teachable moment. And again, I'm not the most politically advanced person, but I do know, the basics. I'm like, how we don't know the basics? Okay, and that's what most all the comments. Okay, but what about the kids who hurt that 5 and 6-year-old little girl? Okay. Somebody said, y'all are part of the problem too. Post the kids from Cleveland that essayed that 5-year-old little girl. We're the 8, 9, and 10-year-olds that hurt that baby. I was wondering which state this took place. Florida is the place, da-da-da. Somebody said, this is Florida law. Thank you, finally, somebody who knows that there's different policies in different states. This is Florida law. Why do y'all keep saying post kids from another crime? Go talk to that state. Exactly, Taylor. Exactly. Exactly, Taylor. I'm like, for real. And then people are saying, you should take this down. Something about, black blog. You shouldn't post this one. And this is one of them. They saying the kids' pictures shouldn't be posted. And then they said, we need pictures released of the 8, 9, and 10-year-old in Cleveland. They need to be put in jail. They actually done a crime that'll make you sick to your stomach. Where are those faces? Where's the petition we signed to get the name and faces of those true criminals? Who are their parents? Like, the kid here ain't did nothing wrong. Don't piss me off. Another person says, y'all keep saying ish about Cleveland, and this article is about Florida. Different states, different jurisdictions. What about that do y'all not get? Girl, they don't know the basics, honey. They don't know the basics. They don't know the basics. They don't know. They don't know. And I'm not somebody that pretends to know everything, but we gotta at least know that. We gotta at least know that. So I just wanted to bring this up as well because there was a lot of people who were upset. They were ready to get they pitchforks out on the neighborhood talk. And I'm like, baby, It's a different state. It's a different state. Now, I agree with you that they should be plastered. I agree with you, but at least know that it's a different state. Like, y'all do know that some states are stand your ground laws. Some states, some states, if you walk in your yard, then you could pow somebody. Some states, if they walk in your yard and you pow them, you're going to jail for life. Some states will railroad you. Some states have certain enhancements. Some states allow you to have a
Right.
concealed carry license. Some states don't. In New York, it's very hard to get a firearm. They don't allow you to have a firearm unless you are in law enforcement or something like that. I live in California. I have a firearm. But there's different rules. Like in Arizona, it's easy to get a concealed carry. In Atlanta, in Texas, you could get a concealed carry, and in Arizona, you could walk around in the grocery store with your gun on your hip. Like, there's different states, different laws, different rules, different jurisdictions, different things.
Right.
And if there is something in your state that you feel as though, hey, I think that this should be a law or a rule or whatever, advocate for it to be a policy, you know? So I just wanted to say that because I was so confused about so many people being so angry, and I'm like, y'all do know that, you know, certain states let abortions happen, certain states don't, certain states, you know, don't have Planned Parenthood, certain states do, certain states, you know, like every state has their own thing to implement, so, you know, that's crazy. But anyway, so moving on from that, I'm glad that the mother is closer to getting justice. I think that these kids definitely need extensive therapy. I think that the root of the problem definitely needs to be investigated. I think that their parent needs to be held accountable. And I'm a mom who, again, I don't think that your child do, you should go to jail for it. But if you have a child that has repeated behavior and you're not doing anything about it,
You need to go to
then
jail.
that jail. You know, these kids seem to have repeated behavior over and over again. So at that point, jail. If you can't keep a track of your kids, then you need to stop having them. It's so much, so much, so much. Make sure you hit the like button as well and hype me up, okay? They got this new thing on YouTube where it's like the hype
Okay, and that's
feature,
it.
and I guess YouTube give y'all.
Okay, and that's it. As you just heard of that unfortunate incident, they did arrest two of them. Why they didn't arrest the third one, I have no clue. But at least two of them were at least arrested. It's the only good outcome I have for y'all. Um, I'm gonna try my best to stay on top of that story. Um, with that being said, to the parents, safeguard your kids, and don't and remember, you can't leave your kids with any and everybody. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You can't you can't trust everybody with your children. Um, with that being said, like, share, subscribe. I'll see y'all later. Peace.